Hi, well, thanks for joining me. I'm really pleased that you're here today. Good news, Leo has a new video that just went up and it is really good. In fact, he's shown me some of the intros and the exits that he's got coming for some of his future videos. They're better than what I've done. And this kid's 13 and I'm there and I'm thinking, how can that be? I mean, it is for real. Now, if you've got grandkids or you've got young children around the house, you're going to want to see Leo's video because he puts together, and he does it in a time-lapse thing, and he puts together the Star Wars spaceship, whatever it is, out of Lego. It's really neat to see. So check him out. And if you haven't subscribed to him yet, come on. He's almost at 100. He wants to get over 100 subscribers. So for crying out loud, subscribe, will you? He'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. And you'll hear a little less about Leo if you do that. So get over there and have some fun with Leo. Now, I want to tell you, in the McKinnon household, this is a bestseller. Both copies were sold. And I have a question for you regarding the book. If you haven't got yours, you can get it on Amazon. It's available in both Kindle, and it's all over Europe and Germany and France and Italy and the United States. It's everywhere if you want to get a copy of it. And I'm getting a lot of good reviews on it. However, I'm halfway through a new book, and it's a continuation of this book. What do I call it? So I want to hear from you. I want to hear what it's got to be this. Well, that's the way I see it. Encouragement for busy people. Part 2, part 3. Well, I don't know. What do we do? So I want to hear from you. You're creative. Let's get together and make this our book. And so if you will send me your suggestions, I'll take that into consideration and look at what we're going to be doing for the new book. And it'll have all different cover and all of that kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun. It's something for us to do. So let's get that done. Now, since I last saw you, I have done a ton of work on this guitar. In fact, I calculated 32 videos, and I didn't, that is 32 films or video that I filmed to put together, and that would be like an hour and a half of video time to show you everything I've done. I'm not going to do that to you. It's okay. So I do want to show you how we got to pretty much to this position. This is the way it's going to look. And it's not glued on, or it bolts on nicely. In fact, it bolts on very nicely. And what I want to show you today is how we get this curve in here, because this is really important. I haven't yet cut away all the neck and whatnot, but your thumb will come up into here, up in that area there, because it's going to curve up like that, and this is going to come up like that. It's all going to be beautiful. So that's what we're working on right now. And it's probably the very best neck that I've put together. This thing, if I just put this in here and tighten this up, this fits in here perfectly. It just goes so nicely, like so. And I gotta tell you, normally we would take sandpaper and sand this to get this tight. This isn't bolted yet, but the join in and along here, this joint right in here and on this side of the guitar is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So when I'm not even going to have to sand it. It fits. It's amazing. It's never happened to me before. You know what? Do you know how I did it? Because I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And so there it is. I'm very excited about this, and it's really great. So what you're going to see is what we did with the neck. Now, you'll see a video here in a sec where I flatten this out, and I do this by pushing this through into the thickness sander. The problem is, with the thickness sander, it only came back to here, and I had to do the rest of this by hand. And so you don't need to see a lot of that, but you'll get the idea of what I did here. And then what I did after that, in order to get that by hand, to make it a little easier on the actual, where I took some sandpaper and did this all to get this shape, I ended up with the spindle sander that is round and it goes up and down, and I held this thing and I bring it across and I move this until I got it flat. Then I get it into a vise and I do that. So you're going to see some of that as we look at that. You can see that right now where I've got that all smoothed out there. The next thing I did with the video is this is the peg head design that I've used on here. And I made this out of Baltic birch plywood. And I simply brought it down, cut it to rough shape on here. I was going to do it on the table, router table here, but that doesn't work as well as what I wanted. So I did it on the spindle sander by hand. I then take this, put it into the vise here, and I use this to do the final sanding because that's my shape. Not only is that the shape there, this is going to be the shape in here. And this end, the other side, is going to make sure that this is perfectly flat when I've rounded it over. So you're going to see this thing used a lot. Doesn't look like much, but it's a very, very valuable jig. So you can't do it without that. You need to have those things in place. So now, I want to tell you that in order to get this curve just so perfect, what I did is I made this jig, and you'll see this up close. You can see it now on the video here. And this is simply 2 pieces of wood, and I have taken this, and this fits in there just nice and neat, and I ended up using sandpaper, and then I got the spindle sander, and I got this so it's nice and flat, and it just curves up ever so nicely. Then you'll see me where I glue the veneers onto here, and then I place this as a heating blanket, which plugs in here into the wall, and then I simply take that and I just set it like that. And then you'll see me as I start to clamp it until I get that so that it's got the perfect shape. So when it comes out, it literally fits perfectly into this piece in here, because I've worked at that. And I know it's going to fit there because I end up taking sandpaper here on this piece, and then I put that into here. And you can see how that fits so ever nicely. And this part here, this is all going to get cut away. So you'll see that coming up. So you know what? Lots of video today, and you'll see some of this as we've moved along. But I've got more video, and because this is a long way off. I got to tell you one other thing here before we go. I wanted to show you how I cut these holes and how I got them lined up the way I did and everything. But it's so precise, and you got to get it right, that I got so involved in doing this and cutting it when I got down and finished the last hole. Now, this has never happened to you before. Any of you YouTubers that make videos, I know this has never happened to you. I forgot to turn the camera on. And so needless to say, those are the holes where the tuners are going to go, but you're not going to get to see me drill those holes. So I'll try to remember to keep turning on the camera. It's because there's so much to do, and I've got to focus, and I got to concentrate and get that stuff all down nice and neat. And when I do that, it just works so well. That's why you're even going to get to see how I cut this up in here, this slot, the same as that slot. So I put it on there, might as well cut both of them at the same time. So that's what I did. And it's coming along really, really sweet. I'm very happy about it. And so now I'm going to go up and I'm going to put all of this video together and get it up onto the channel so you can enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. And don't forget, check out Leo and subscribe to his channel. And I want to see maybe 30, 40, 50 of you slip over to Leo and subscribe to his channel and make some comments. And that young man is doing a fine job, and he's so excited. We've got to encourage our young people. They're at home. School is boring on the computer. It sounds like it's fun. It's not. And it's hard work, both for the teacher and for the student. So he could be into all kinds of mischief, right? He's a teenager. He could be getting himself into trouble. He's getting into video. So this is terrific. I'm so excited about that. And I want you to encourage your youngster, your teenager, the person sitting on the couch watching TV, get him off there, get a camera in his hand, and get him outside making some videos. Yeah, he can go in the backyard by himself and make videos. Shoot birds, make a birdhouse, do something. It's so much fun. All right. I gotta go up and get a cup of tea. Obviously, I'm a little hyper today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.